Hey everyone, it's Liam Callison here, and we're reacting to another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is episode number 10 of Season 5. Last season I made comments about how time flies with this show, and there's no exception with Season 5, because we're about to approach the halfway point. Not this episode, but the next episode, I believe. But it's still very, very crazy, because it was like last month we saw Buffy take on Dracula, and now we're at this moment. So it's like very, very crazy how time flies with this show. Especially this season, it's just been absolutely incredible. It's been a wonderful season. I've enjoyed all the episodes so far, and yeah, last episode didn't stray away from the emotional path, did it? Because we were essentially keeping up with the Summers. Joyce, of course, showing her first symptoms of her tumour before at the end of the episode she was wheeled off to her operation. Like I said, it was a nice gesture for all the Scoobies to be there in support. So hopefully that goes well, and we saw how this was having an emotional toll on Buffy, as well as Dawn having a bit of a crisis on herself, because she's keeping track record about people who are making all kinds of comments regarding her existence. Of course, we know the whole shebang regarding Dawn. She's not supposed to be here, but she is. But Dawn doesn't know that, and she's starting to worry about the kind of comments people are making about her. So it was a very difficult time for the Summers. It was difficult for Riley. He's going through his own downward spiral as well. And yeah, it was very, very creepy with the demon as well, the cockroach humanoid figure that decided to vomit on people's faces. Absolutely gnarly, but yeah, it was a really good episode last time out on Buffy. So with that said, let's get into episode number 10 of season 5. Let's go.
I can't stand this. What's taking so long?
It doesn't mean anything.
You think?
Yeah, but
I'd worry more if your mom was out of surgery quickly. Might mean that, they couldn't do much.
He's got a point. It's just, oh my, I'm just equally worried. Oh. Don't give me this suspense. Don't cut to... you're cutting to the intro. You're giving me suspense.
Your mother's going to be fine. Of course, we're still going to have to watch your mother carefully.
Yeah.
And have her back in here for some follow-up testing. But
good news.
Overall, I'd consider the procedure a complete success.
We can't take our eye off the ball, but this is good news.
Oh, goodness, doctor, thank you. Thank you so much.
Believe me, it's my pleasure.
Oh.
Sorry. Mom's out of the woods. And I'm here with you. That's all that matters.
So there's like gonna be some kind of relief for Riley personally. Oh, Riley. God damn it. And he got caught.
Buffy. I know that. Look, I told him to make plans with his friends because I wanted to have you all to myself. Okay?
I'm sure he's making plans with someone.
See him anytime. And I'm sure he'll come over later looking for a little Bible study.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I mean, just as long as the two of you are spending some quality time with the Lord.
We are.
What's he got here in Sunnydale that's so special?
You guys have obviously got the memo.
It's me.
Every time you show up like this, you risk all of your parts, you know that?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a good reason.
He's
As
gonna
usual, I'm
tell
here to help
Buffy.
you, and are you naked under there?
Get out.
Oh boy.
I thought you should know.
I mean, this is all kind for like a little push for his advantage, but also There is that, like, I think there is that genuine care as well.
Is that the Slayer? What the hell?
How long have you guys been standing there for, creeps?
I need to talk to you.
I'm not in a talking mood.
Then listen.
Riley, just give the man a
Give
chance.
him a chat
If you don't like what
choice.
you hear, we'll...
For Central America tomorrow midnight. Now maybe civilian life is working out for you. And maybe not. Midnight tomorrow. Decision's yours.
So that mean you'd have to leave, potentially?
I dislike that Anya. She's newly human and strangely literal.
What? I don't say that. No one says that. No one talks.
I love you, Anya.
Well, there's nothing wrong with my idea anyway. I've been very good for this store.
At least she brought
If it
up
wasn't
an
for
idea.
me, Giles would be a terrified old man staring at a quarterly tax statement and wetting himself.
I say, that's an exaggeration.
Anya, you've helped out a lot, but I have too.
Is it
Yes, I forgot
though?
about all the vigorous sitting
Okay.
around.
You said people are dying.
They're willing victims. I mean, there are people out there who deserve your help who aren't.
Vampires are vampires, and my job description is pretty clear. Are you coming with me or not?
What's the rush, Buff? If we're going into a nest, maybe we should come up with a strategy.
This does sting
for
so
Riley.
much. Oh. Ixnay on the Riley 8.
Look, I'm not the one who got you into this. Don't kill the messenger.
Why the hell not?
Ah! Spike!
No! Bloody hell! Oh, God!
You're not killing him?
Plastic wood grain. Looks real, doesn't it?
Even if I wasn't in the picture, you're never going to be able to hold on to her.
Oh! Bloody hell!
I mean, he might have
I
a
didn't
point.
almost kill you enough.
It's not like Buffy's being swayed by Spike.
Come on! You're not the long haul guy, and you know it.
Shut up.
You know it. Or else you wouldn't be getting suck jobs from two-bit vampire trolls.
I mean, this is it. It's kind of like the Junkie House brothel thing, isn't it? Be interested to know what Spike would be capable of if the chip was out of his head at this
Sometimes
point.
I envy you so much, it chokes me. And sometimes I think I got the better deal. To be that close to her and not have her. To be all alone, even when you're holding her. Feeling.
They made me feel something, Buffy. Something I didn't even know I was missing until...
I can't hear
Oh
this.
boy.
You need to hear this.
Fine. Fine. Tell me about your whores. Tell me what on earth they were giving you that I can't.
They needed me.
They needed your money. I'm stronger than you.
It's hard sometimes, yeah. But that's not it.
Then what? What else do you want from me, Riley? I've given you everything that I have. I've given you my heart, my body, and soul.
You say that, but I don't feel it. I just don't feel it.
Oh,
Well, whose
Riley.
fault is that? Because I'm telling you, this is it. This is me.
Unless you give me a reason to stay. I'm leaving tonight.
There we go. That's the ultimatum. But that was really his only life in Sunnydale, Buffy, and this is what I've been worried about all, like, these past few episodes. Oh, wow. That took a lot of courage. Oh, I thought she was gonna let her live.
So you and Riley aren't imploding? Doesn't take a genius. What I can't figure
You
out is how
did
you never
sense
saw
it in the
coming.
magic box.
What? Who told you?
Nobody told me anything, Buffy. It was right in front of my Xander face. Yeah, I think you mean convenient. I think you took it for granted that he was going to show up when you wanted him to and take off when you didn't.
Look who's talking. Look who has Anya following him around like a lovesick puppy.
Oh boy,
Oh.
is this not about me.
This is
she more
not
than a convenience?
these two.
Because that would kind of be a...
And you've been treating Riley like the rebound guy. When he's the one that
Ooh.
comes along once in a lifetime. He's never held back with you. He's risked everything. And you're about to let him fly because you don't like ultimatums? If he's not the guy, if what he needs from you just isn't there, let him go. Break his heart and make it a clean break. Think about what you're about to lose.
I think for Buffy is her mind's been in such a mess that she hasn't been able to think straight.
Xander.
Run.
The heart. The heart. Oh, no, 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 no. Damn it, no! She's gonna be too late! Shit! She was only there like a minute earlier.
I'm in love with you. Powerfully, painfully in love. The things you do, the way you think, the way you move. I get excited every time I'm about to see you.
Oh!
You make me feel like I've never felt before in my life.
Oh, wow. Because that's it, you might do regret it like Buffy might right now. Let's say Xander, like, his A game is up there. Holy shit. That sucks, though. That really, really does suck, how she was, like, a minute too late from getting to Riley and telling, to cling on to him to say, I'm, like, well, I wouldn't say I made a mistake, but to say, I realize what I have, and I want to cherish it. So that does crush your heart, but yeah, I gotta say, I love Xander so much. Like, he's developed like tenfold since like season 1. He's developed so freaking much. He might be Buffy's like best friend, but he will give her a reality check, and he's not afraid to do so. Ooh, things got a bit tougher with that episode and a lot tense. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The writing was on the wall. I've said it a few times in my reviews that I was worried regarding the status of Riley and Buffy's relationship. That I had expectancy by the halfway point, actually, that them two would no longer be an item. Wasn't so certain regarding Riley staying put in Sunnydale, though, because I wasn't sure what the direction they were going to go for his character personally, but given the fact that Buffy was the only thing that was that really gave meaning for his life personally since the initiative collapsed and they've been contacting him in the last couple of episodes, you could say there was a direction going for him leaving Sunnydale as well, but I think it was a lot more clearer about Buffy and Riley's relationship. Things would, fracture, and sadly, yeah, this isn't one of those big brain moments. It was just like I sometimes do. Like, I'll say something, and it's like, oh my god, you called it, and it's, yeah, I think it's just more like common sense. You just know that things are just gonna, it looks like it's teetering on the edge, and yeah. What's more heartbreaking, though, is two things. Buffy, if she was there a minute earlier, things might have ended a bit differently, because the helicopter just took off. So yeah, and the second thing is, Riley didn't even look down when the helicopter took off. If he did, then he might have seen Buffy. He might have had, wait, I've changed my mind. That he might have had that moment. So that's what makes the thing, the whole breakup sadder, is the fact that if things were just changed a little bit, maybe things would have panned out a bit differently. But sadly, I think this is the thing with Xander's message. You don't want to let go of this because you're gonna be in a lot of remorse, and sadly, we're not gonna know about we're probably not gonna know about what would have been different if things had changed. Like, what would the direction of their relationship be if Buffy was there a minute earlier, or if Riley had changed? Yeah, sadly, that's going to be a case of we might never know. And it's all relaying on Xander's message about to think about what you might lose forever. And now she has, because, I mean, there was that intent that she wanted to patch things up with Riley. Because she does truly love him. And thankfully Xander was there to give her that, to give her something to think about. But yeah, in some sad sense though, this might be beneficial for the pair of them, this breakup. Although my mind is worried regarding the well-being of Buffy, because I do feel like this is going to be a thing that is going to potentially shatter her. She's had a lot on her plate, which does contribute to why Riley has been feeling on the back seat for quite some time. There's been a lot going on in her mind, and yes, some things might have cleared up, although it's for now, what's the phrasing? You got to be cautious because it could return. There's some tension raised off Buffy's mind with Joyce's mother being given the A-OK. Although, like I said, and it's not not like it's impossible for this to happen in the real world either. But tumors can come back as well, so you just never know if Joyce will be back in that rut again. So you got to be very, very cautious regarding that. But yeah, things might have elevated a bit for Buffy's mindset, but here we go again with that Riley and Buffy, their breakup and what Buffy discovered. That's just going to be piling on to what Buffy's had to contend with this season. So, and I'm sure the ramifications, not just of the relationship falling apart, but also Buffy knowing she was like a minute too late. That's going to be eating her up this season. So, I will be interested, and it's going to be sad to potentially go into the mindset further of Buffy this season. But yeah, I mean, I really liked this episode, and I was really glad that we had that talk, because it was a talk that needed to be said. Although I do feel like Buffy and Riley, they suck communication-wise, especially regarding the fact that there's stuff that Buffy's had to contend with so far this season that she didn't even tell Riley about. Like Dawn, for example. I think in episode 6, Buffy was sugarcoating certain words regarding Dawn, whilst not telling anything. And there's that communication with Riley and how he's felt like Buffy doesn't love him back. If they had that talk a bit earlier this season, maybe things might have been a bit different, but there we go. So and that's it at the end of the day. I don't feel like nobody was to blame, because Buffy's had a lot on her plate. So much so that Riley and his love for Buffy and that attention that he wants to give her, that's taken a back seat. And thus Riley has felt that unappreciation. He's felt like Buffy doesn't love him. So things just faltered there, and Riley did something a bit reckless, but there's that need to know why Angel and Dracula has such this pull over Buffy. Like, he wants to know what it's all about. Although with Dracula, that wasn't really by choice, was it? So, but still, it might have been a bit stupid, granted, but there's that isolated feeling. And it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't cheating. I say I don't know because you could argue there's an element of metaphor in there. But he wanted to know what the deal was. And he's been trying to get Buffy to notice him all season, so he's at a point where he feels pushed away. And there's also that element of, I'll say there's two elements, because I think it makes it pretty clear that the whole vampire feasting off the human thing is like a drug addiction. I also will think that it's kind of like a brothel, especially with some of the terminology that was used, like from Spike, like not just the terminology, but some of the shots. If you take that out of context, and you're gonna have you're gonna have a field day. So I will say it's like a brothel, but more so like a drug house. So I think that's the main comparison. But you can see elements of a brothel or whatnot thrown in there as well, like some of the terminology that was used. Yeah. As well as the whole context with a relationship. It's like you got caught on the act of playing with someone whilst you're in a relationship. So yeah, there is little sprinkles of that element involved there as well. So yeah, but that's it with Riley. He felt like he took a back seat, that there was no love in the relationship, and there were like those little moments of where things looked really good for Buffy and Riley. Sadly, as we saw, like even though Buffy and Riley had a happy time with each other in this episode, Riley knew that it doesn't feel like things are back on track, and there was that addiction, and he did beat himself up so much regarding the fact that he got hooked onto this addiction, this want that of the vampires wanting him. And yeah, I do feel like even though there was that ultimatum thing that you could argue was thrown in there, it constitutes to Buffy being the only thing keeping him in Sunnydale. Like I said, he wants to know if this relationship is still viable, I feel. So, because he did admit he was wrong, but he wanted to know where Buffy stands with him, like if that love is there or not. So that's why he gave the ultimatum, I guess. So, yeah, but yeah, I just feel so bad. Like, I do feel like this is going to be better in the long term for both Buffy and Riley. It just feels so bad because, like, both parties, they're not guilty. Then there's no bad party involved. Just things seems to fell apart, and you could understand Riley's reasonings. You could understand Buffy's reasonings a lot because of the fact of what she's been going through this season. And I do feel like Buffy does have genuine, well, we saw that when Xander gave that talk, which we'll get onto in a minute, because Xander is just amazing. But there is that love, just that she's had to prioritize on a lot of other things, and thus it feels like Riley has been pushed away. So, and there is also that comment about Riley being treated by the rebound guy. So we'll get to Xander, because I love the growth that his character has. I still remember, I talk about time flying in this show. Like, this time last year, Xander was still head over heels for Buffy, jealous that Angel had her when he couldn't. And now here we are with Xander wanting Buffy to be happy, but he wants Buffy to not live in remorse. He is saying to Buffy, go after Riley, because you're gonna be kicking yourself, and that's probably gonna be the case from now on. You're gonna be kicking yourself if you truly love Riley, and you want him. Just have consideration about what could be lost. So yeah, but I've got to say that speech from Xander was really amazing. Not just his speech, but his speech to Anya as well, which does play on some relevancy about Buffy and Riley's relationship, and how he doesn't want that remorse to hit him. So he's telling Anya that I love you and all that jazz, as well as he does have genuine feelings for Anya, of course. But there's also that comment that he made about Riley being the rebound guy, which I think it's true, because I think he was the rebound guy, to be fair. Like, I was kind of a bit worried about what Buffy's mindset would be when after a rough breakup with Angel, when Riley and Buffy started becoming a thing midway through season 4. And she still had feelings for Angel. Like, she still had high, passionate feelings for... she still had high, passionate feelings for Angel a week before they got together. Yes, granted that it was an alternative timeline, but they were still there. They still existed. So yeah, I feel like Riley was the rebound guy, especially if she still had feelings for Angel. Might have been an alternative timeline, but they were still there. Just because it was an alternative timeline doesn't mean that it's it's a different version of Buffy. It's still the same Buffy, and it was still the same mindset. It stung for her to see Angel, because of those feelings, and then a week later she gets her and Riley officially become a thing. Um, so yeah, you could say that bit about Riley being the rebound guy holds weight. What the hell? Just a little thing going on with my computer for some odd reason. I don't know, but yeah, as I was gonna say, you could say that comment from Xander does hold weight. That Riley was the rebound guy, so yeah, but I gotta say, Xander, big props for him. He's just the growth of his character is just really incredible stuff, so yeah. Anya as well, I just love her so much. She is adorable. Yeah, I love her, and we need to keep her because she is one amazing, um just charismatic, beautiful, amazing character, and I just love Anya so much. It's amazing to see her growth as well, from the Wish to now. So yeah, but yeah, I also like, there was also one more thing that I want to address as well, which was Spike and Riley, which my heart did skip a beat there when Riley, went in there for Spike. So thankfully that wasn't the case. It was just a little keep on your toes, buddy, because I'm here. But I think the scene worked well when they sat down and had a drink together, because it's so eerie, because he does care for Buffy, but at the same time is going out of his way to be creepy because he's fixated on the Slayer. He stood outside their home when them two were having sex. He sniffed her underwear. He's breaking and entering. There is that creepy element, but he does have, I do feel like he does have genuine care, like the porch scene at the end of episode 7. Yeah. He also knows that Buffy and Riley, he knows that Riley is a better fit for Buffy than he could be with Buffy. He is jealous, but he feels like Riley is better. But he also knows that Riley can't survive with Buffy. Not because of the fact of his feelings getting in the way, but because he's insightful. That's Spike to a T. He is insightful as hell. So, and it's just great seeing those two characters share a drink with each other, because they're both characters who feel who want what they feel like they can't have. With Riley feeling like he's taking a bit of a backseat and he sees that relationship as lost. Spike feels like him and Buffy can't ever be a thing, especially with how they are enemies against each other. So yeah. So I think that scene worked so well. But yeah, I really liked this episode. Xander being the one to tell Buffy about everything makes sense, especially since Riley was the only person to tell him about how he feels, Buffy feels. Of course, things could have progressed, but Xander cares so much, he's being cautious. So, I was really glad to see Xander telling Buffy what she needed to hear. And yes, it might have been a bit too late, but it will be very interesting to see Buffy's mindset. Whereas I guess one door closes, although you gotta be optimistic because someone could go barging through that door regarding Joyce, I'm meaning, and the tumor, because, tumors can come back. Whereas one door closes, another sadly opens in terms of allowing the difficulties to flood the mind. Like, there's a draft of worry and hurt that's going to be flooding into the house that is Buffy's mind. So hopefully that analogy works. But I thought this was a great episode, and sad, it's crushing, especially since my comments were sadly right. But maybe things will be better off for both characters moving forward, so we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right. If you want to check out more of my content, you could also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!